Let's start with Meghan and Harry because they've been snubbed by their family.
This is a brutal snub.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have just been banned from this year's major royal wedding. And it is a particular humiliation for the so-called Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
Meghan Markle come speak at an event for bullying when she's one of the biggest bullies, in my opinion.
Between the fake royals and the real royals.
Inside the Montecito mansion, the mood reportedly turned ice cold the second the door slammed shut. Sources claim Meghan disappeared into silence for hours, shutting herself away while Harry paced around restless and exhausted. People close to the situation say he's barely been sleeping lately because what just happened to them wasn't just another awkward royal snub or some minor family tension. This hit way deeper than that. According to insiders, this was the moment reality finally landed hard. The kind of moment that changes everything and leaves no room for fixing things behind closed doors. Now all eyes are locked on one date, circled in red on the calendar, June 6th. And what the royal family is allegedly preparing to do on that day could send a brutal message louder than any public statement ever could.
Meghan Markle has just had a date night with a Finnish man who has been accused of both sexual harassment and racism.
No dramatic press conference, no titles ripped away on live television, no official palace showdown, just something colder, quieter, and honestly way more cutting, an invitation that never shows up. A seat at the table that simply no longer exists. That's what real royal exile looks like according to palace watchers. Not loud chaos, but total silence. The kind that says everything without saying a single word. On June 6th, attention shifts to a quiet church tucked away in a beautiful Cotswold village where Peter Phillips is set to marry Harriet Spurling. It'll be the second marriage for both of them, and under normal circumstances, this would have been treated like a low-key royal family celebration. But this event suddenly became much bigger because of who is expected to attend, and especially because of who reportedly isn't. The guest list reads almost like a final lineup of the royal inner circle still standing strong together. King Charles and Queen Camilla are expected to be there.
Meghan Markle has rebranded yet again. But is it I have a headache chic or modern domestic snobbery?
Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales too. Prince Edward and Sophie are reportedly attending, along with Zara and Mike Tyndall, who continue to stay incredibly close to the core of the family. Even Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are said to be fully welcomed back into the royal fold, despite all the controversy tied to their father, after renewed headlines connected to the Epstein files earlier this year. Through all the public pressure and non-stop media attention, the York sisters still reportedly made the cut because at the end of the day, they are still viewed as part of the family circle. But Harry and Meghan? According to reports, they weren't even part of the conversation. No invite allegedly arrived, no quiet outreach, no effort to smooth things over behind the scenes. Not even a simple courtesy call to avoid embarrassment. And that's the part royal watchers say makes this feel so brutal. Because in royal life, silence can speak louder than any statement ever released to the public.
Because Harry's cousin, Philippe, it's Philip, I'm calling him Philippe.
Makes him more glamorous, doesn't it?
Yeah, much more glamorous, much more exotic. He's getting married, his second one. Nothing wrong with that. Second marriage is normally the best ones.
That's exactly
so I hear.
Right. Second time lucky.
Second time lucky. He's getting married to a lovely Harriet, and Harry and Meghan have been snubbed. They've been pushed out.
One missing envelope can expose exactly where someone stands, and right now, many believe Harry and Meghan just got the clearest message possible. Peter Phillips was never just some random distant cousin sitting quietly in the background of royal events. This is someone who was deeply woven into Harry's life for decades. People forget just how close the younger generation of royals once were before everything completely fractured behind palace walls. Peter was trusted enough by the family to physically stand between Prince William and Prince Harry during Prince Philip's funeral procession back in 2021. Think about how serious that was for a second. Palace insiders believe tensions between the brothers had gotten so bad that they reportedly didn't even want them walking side by side without a buffer in place. And the person chosen for that incredibly awkward and symbolic role was Peter Phillips. That alone says everything about the level of trust and history shared between them. Peter attended Harry and Meghan's massive royal wedding back in 2018 when the entire world was watching Windsor Castle.
Duke and Duchess of Sussex, because Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, who you might think are just a little bit more toxic at the moment, will be there.
And years earlier, Harry had attended Peter's first wedding in 2008. This wasn't some casual royal connection built on forced smiles at official events. These were family bonds shaped over decades of holidays, private gatherings, inside jokes, late-night drinks, and years spent growing up together inside one of the most famous families on Earth. They spent Christmases at Sandringham together, summers at Balmoral together, hunting trips, family dinners, royal events, all of it. Back then, Harry wasn't viewed as an outsider or a problem. He was part of the core group, laughing with cousins, partying with friends, and living inside that tight royal bubble that seemed unbreakable at the time.
And actually, I do think this puts pay to some of the suggestions that there is this type of reconciliation going on.
And now, according to royal insiders, all of that history has basically vanished into thin air. Then came the headline that had people online absolutely tearing into the situation. Hello? Magazine tried to soften the whole thing with the cover line claiming Peter and Harry had simply lost touch, but almost nobody bought that explanation. Social media exploded with people mocking the phrase because this wasn't two old classmates forgetting to text each other after university. This was family, royal family at that. People don't just accidentally lose touch with someone they spent their entire lives around unless there's a much bigger reason sitting underneath the surface. Royal watchers immediately started reading between the lines, because when invitations stop showing up, phone calls reportedly stop happening, and family milestones move forward without certain people included.
The thing about Peter Phillips that's really interesting is that he was incredibly close to both brothers. And you will remember at the funeral of Prince Philip, when there were so many concerns about Prince William and Harry being in the close vicinity of each other, he was chosen to stand between them.
It starts looking less like distance and more like deliberate separation, the kind that doesn't happen overnight. The kind that builds slowly after years of tension, public interviews, accusations, and trust completely falling apart behind closed palace doors. And while Harry was reportedly trying to process the sting of being left out of yet another major family event, Meghan was thousands of miles away in Switzerland for what many believed was supposed to be a huge image-defining moment for her personally.
This is a brutal snub. This is a wild slap in the face. Harry will be devastated. Now, it's not certain.
This appearance had all the setup of a major relaunch. No Harry standing beside her, no royal backdrop, no palace connection, just Meghan alone on the international stage alongside the World Health Organization, speaking about online safety and protecting children in digital spaces. The event was clearly meant to position her as a powerful, independent, global figure with influence far beyond royal drama. But according to critics and media reaction afterward, things did not land the way her team may have hoped. Instead of dominating headlines in a positive way, the appearance reportedly sparked confusion, backlash, and endless online debate almost immediately. Comment sections blew up, clips spread everywhere, and what was intended to look polished and stateswoman-like suddenly turned into another public relations headache. For Meghan, the timing could not have looked worse.
That the couple would have attended. We've got that nonsense about their security, which to me is total fake news, considering the couple travel the world, go to lots of other dangerous places without armed cops. But that aside, that's the excuse for them not coming to the UK yet together as a family.
While headlines about royal exclusion were already gaining traction, the Switzerland appearance was supposed to shift the conversation completely. Instead, many critics claimed it only added more fuel to the growing perception that the gap between Harry, Meghan, and the rest of the royal family had become almost impossible to repair. The contrast could not have been more brutal. While Meghan was in Geneva trying to deliver what many believed would be a major international moment, the public reaction reportedly fell completely flat. The crowds that were expected to gather around her just didn't show up in the way her team likely hoped they would. And once side-by-side comparisons started spreading online next to Catherine's solo trip to Italy, happening that exact same week, the internet wasted absolutely no time turning it into a spectacle. Over in Italy, Catherine, Princess of Wales, was being greeted by packed crowds pressed against barriers, cameras flashing non-stop, and people loudly calling her name everywhere she went.
Can you believe it? Meghan Markle has rebranded yet again. But is it I have a headache chic or modern domestic snobbery?
Photos and clips showed streets full of supporters trying to catch even a quick glimpse of her. The energy looked massive, polished, and royal in every sense of the word. Meanwhile, in Geneva, the atmosphere around Meghan's appearance looked dramatically quieter by comparison. Online critics immediately jumped on the difference, reposting clips and screenshots while arguing the contrast said more than any official headline ever could. Then came the photo that people online would not stop talking about. During Meghan's outdoor speech about protecting children from the dangers of social media, cameras captured a woman standing in the background who appeared completely uninterested in what was happening around her. While Meghan spoke passionately into the microphone, the woman calmly adjusted her own outfit and looked distracted, almost like she was waiting for public transportation instead of attending a major public event. The image spread across social media at lightning speed because critics claimed it perfectly captured the awkward energy surrounding the appearance. And somehow, the situation became even more embarrassing after another clip surfaced showing a different woman nearby who actually did appear to be waiting for a bus and not paying attention to Meghan at all. That moment exploded online almost instantly. Memes flooded social media, sarcastic captions started trending, and the rent-a-crowd jokes practically wrote themselves. Critics used the footage to question the level of public excitement around the event, while supporters argued the internet was unfairly exaggerating isolated moments just to mock her. Either way, the damage was already spreading fast across headlines and comment sections everywhere.
That is the question. While we are on our 4th official rebrand for her brand as never it should be called because it is never the same, and as ever would imply some degree of stability.
But then the controversy took an even darker turn after photos emerged from a Geneva dinner event later that evening. Meghan was photographed smiling for a selfie with Finnish politician Ville Rydman, and once people realized who he was, the backlash exploded almost immediately. Rydman has reportedly been at the center of one of the most controversial political scandals in Finland in recent years. Multiple women, 9 according to public reports, have accused him of harassment, with several alleging uncomfortable encounters dating back to when they were between the ages of 14 and 17. Reports also stated that one complaint was triggered after a 17-year-old girl contacted a sexual abuse support service. As if that wasn't already explosive enough, leaked text messages allegedly connected to Rydman later surfaced online containing deeply offensive racial language. According to reports, the messages included insulting comments aimed at Middle Eastern people, as well as racist slurs directed toward Black people. The controversy around him had already been widely discussed internationally before the photo with Meghan began circulating. What made the situation spiral even faster was the fact that Rydman himself reportedly posted the smiling selfie online afterward, with the caption, "Dinner with Meghan," and instantly, critics started hammering Meghan across social media because of the image it created. Here was someone publicly known for speaking about women's rights, anti-racism efforts, equality, and social justice causes suddenly being linked online to a politician surrounded by harassment allegations and accusations involving racist language.
You can bet your bottom dollar that William and Catherine most certainly were. And the reason why this is a brutal snub is because Peter Phillips and Harry have been very, very close for many years. And Peter has dumped Harry. It's the ultimate cancellation because it's a royal cancellation. It is a royal snub.
The internet immediately exploded with accusations of hypocrisy, bad vetting, and terrible optics. Supporters argued that public figures often take hundreds of photos at large events without personally knowing every attendee or guest in detail. But critics weren't letting the story go that easily. Within hours, the image was everywhere, adding yet another layer of controversy to a trip that was originally supposed to strengthen Meghan's reputation on the global stage, but instead turned into another major public relations nightmare filled with viral backlash, awkward headlines, and non-stop scrutiny from every direction. Meghan was photographed smiling ear to ear beside this man, and once the internet connected the dots about who he was, the backlash exploded fast. Her team reportedly went straight into damage control mode almost immediately. According to reports, aides argued that public figures get approached for selfies constantly at major events, and that it's impossible to fully vet every single person asking for a quick photo. They also insisted Meghan allegedly had no idea who Villy Reidman was at the time the picture was taken, and claimed there was no deeper connection behind the interaction. But by then, the story had already taken off everywhere online. Critics weren't interested in explanations, and the image kept spreading across social media, with people tearing apart the optics of the situation. Headlines multiplied by the hour, commentators piled on, and every move Meghan made afterwards suddenly came under even heavier scrutiny. The Daily Mail later reported that Meghan appeared nervous and tense throughout the Geneva trip, and honestly, after the non-stop backlash surrounding the event, many people could see exactly why. What was supposed to be a polished global appearance had reportedly turned into a week filled with awkward headlines, viral criticism, and one controversy after another. Then, just when people thought the situation could not get any more chaotic, Meghan reportedly made a move that even long-time palace watchers did not expect. According to royal commentators, it was the kind of decision that shocked insiders because of the timing alone. Reports claimed that some members of her own PR circle allegedly advised against it, worried it could make the situation look even more reactive and emotionally charged, but Meghan moved forward anyway. Just 24 hours later, she suddenly dropped a flood of never-before-seen photos from her 2018 royal wedding to Prince Harry onto Instagram. And instantly, the internet went into full detective mode, trying to decode every tiny detail hidden inside the post. The timing raised eyebrows immediately because it came right in the middle of all the negative headlines surrounding the Switzerland trip and the growing conversation about royal exclusion. Meghan described the post as a celebration of their 8th anniversary and paired it with a small crescent moon symbol, along with the Paula Abdul song, Forever Your Girl. At first glance, it looked like a romantic tribute to Harry and their relationship. But online commentators quickly started dissecting the message behind the music choice, and things got intense, fast. Royal commentator Angela Levin was one of the loudest voices reacting to the post, and she did not hold back at all. Levin claimed the song choice sounded less like a sweet anniversary dedication, and more like what she described as a warning shot aimed directly at Harry. According to her interpretation, the lyrics carried a much more possessive tone underneath the romantic surface. She suggested the message came across almost like, "You're not getting away from me, forever your girl."
All the other royals are going because the Daily Mail reported that King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, Prince Edward, Sophie, Zara and Mike Tyndall all will attend.
That interpretation immediately fueled even more speculation online about the current state of Harry and Meghan's relationship behind closed doors. And the criticism didn't stop there. Levin also slammed the actual wedding photos themselves, calling them vulgar during media appearances, while arguing that this was not the type of image traditionally associated with royal behaviour. Other critics piled on too, accusing Meghan of turning deeply personal royal moments into public image management during a week already filled with controversy. At the same time, supporters pushed back hard against the criticism, arguing that sharing wedding memories on an anniversary is completely normal and that Meghan was being attacked for things other public figures do all the time without backlash. But regardless of where people stood, one thing became impossible to ignore. The post completely hijacked the conversation online. Instead of calming the headlines surrounding Geneva, it added even more fuel to an already explosive media storm and kept Meghan locked at the centre of attention for another full news cycle. Angela Levin's reaction to those wedding photos was absolutely brutal. And once her comments started spreading online, the backlash exploded even more. She claimed Meghan looked, in her own words, like a tart, accusing the images of being overly theatrical instead of elegant or restrained. Levin argued the photos didn't feel private or intimate at all. According to her, they looked carefully selected to grab maximum attention, the most physical poses, the most dramatic kisses, the most emotionally charged moments, pulled from the entire wedding archive and released right in the middle of a media firestorm. Critics immediately started asking the same question. Why release those particular images at that exact moment? And the timing is what fueled the speculation even harder. Just one day earlier, Catherine had been photographed during her Italy visit, looking calm, polished, and glowing in front of massive, cheering crowds. Before that, Meghan's own Switzerland trip had already been dominating headlines for all the wrong reasons: quiet public turnout, awkward viral moments, and the growing controversy surrounding the dinner photo with Finnish politician Ville Rydman. So, when the wedding pictures suddenly appeared online, many royal commentators claimed they didn't come across as a simple anniversary tribute at all. Instead, critics argued the post felt reactive, emotional, and strategic, almost like an attempt to pull the spotlight back toward Meghan and Harry's love story, while negative headlines were closing in from every direction. According to some observers, the photos looked less like romance and more like panic management unfolding publicly in real time. But the part that reportedly frustrated even some of her defenders was where the photos were posted. Meghan uploaded them directly onto Instagram, the same type of social media platform she had just criticized during her Geneva speech only 24 hours earlier. That contradiction immediately became another major talking point online. During the World Health Organization event, Meghan had spoken passionately about the dangers tied to modern digital culture and the harmful impact social media can have on young people and childhood development.
Now, also surprising is the fact that Princess Beatrice and Eugenie have got an invite too. This now confirmed by The Sun. It's an interesting one too, because remember, William had made the point that he didn't want any senior royals to be pictured with the cousins all year long.
She warned about what she described as the dangerous trade-off of online connection coming at the cost of innocence and emotional well-being. Then almost immediately afterward, she returned to one of the world's biggest social media platforms to launch an intensely personal and highly public anniversary photo campaign. Critics jumped on the contradiction instantly, arguing that the message and the behavior didn't match. Supporters defended her by saying social media itself isn't inherently bad, and that her speech focused specifically on harmful online behavior toward children, not banning platforms entirely. But online debate exploded anyway because the optics once again became impossible to ignore. And then another controversy quietly started building around the speech itself. Some commentators pointed out what they described as striking similarities between Meghan's remarks and an existing article written by Dr. Dana Suskind for the Chicago Tribune. Critics claimed certain passages and themes sounded extremely close in wording and structure, which quickly triggered fresh accusations online about originality and speechwriting choices. Supporters dismissed those claims as exaggerated, arguing speeches on digital safety often cover similar ideas and language. Still, the conversation added even more pressure during a week already overloaded with controversy. People also noticed something else hidden inside the wedding photo collection that instantly sparked discussion among royal watchers. Almost no members of the royal family appeared in the images at all. Aside from Meghan's mother Doria and a brief glimpse of King Charles in the background of one shot, the rest of the royal family was practically invisible. No major royal group moments, no warm family interactions, no celebration of the institution she married into. Critics claimed it looked like the monarchy itself had been carefully edited out of the narrative, leaving only Meghan, Harry, and a highly controlled version of the story centered entirely around them. But then came the photo that triggered the strongest reaction of all. Meghan posted an image showing herself standing in front of an enormous luxury walk-in wardrobe, reportedly filled with clothing estimated by some outlets to be worth around $250,000. Sitting at her feet in the photo was her 4-year-old daughter. Almost immediately, online critics began attacking the image, claiming the pose looked awkward and uncomfortable. Some observers harshly compared it to the child appearing to shine her mother's shoes, while others accused critics of reading far too much into an innocent family moment. The image sparked another massive divide online almost instantly. Supporters argued the interpretation was unfair and that the photo simply showed a mother and daughter together inside their home. Critics, however, claimed the visual symbolism looked tone-deaf, especially during a week when Meghan was publicly speaking about children, values, and social responsibility on the world stage. Once again, What may have been intended as a personal and emotional post quickly transformed into another non-stop internet battle filled with outrage, debate, and viral commentary from every angle imaginable. Angela Levin claimed she noticed something else in the photo almost immediately, and her comments pushed the controversy into even darker territory online.
But Matt Wilkinson, the royal editor of The Sun, reporting that both princesses are set to come in from the cold and join the king and queen at this summer's royal wedding. It will be their first royal family appearance since revelations in the Epstein files involving their parents, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and Sarah Ferguson, and them were made public this year.
According to Levin, the little girl appeared to have an issue with her foot in the image, which triggered another wave of intense speculation across social media. From there, Levin gave a deeply critical interpretation of the entire photograph, arguing that the child looked deliberately positioned to stay hidden and unseen. She described the image as unsettling, claiming the little girl appeared trained to avoid facing the camera directly, with her head lowered while Meghan stood above her surrounded by visible luxury and designer clothing. Levin's wording sparked immediate backlash because of how harsh and personal the criticism became. She described the image as cruel and claimed the child looked positioned to worship and to be invisible until summoned. Those comments spread rapidly online, with some people agreeing the image looked awkward and overly staged, while others accused critics of crossing a line by projecting disturbing narratives onto a simple family photograph. The debate became explosive because it pulled Meghan's parenting, privacy choices, and public image all into the same conversation at once. Then, attention shifted toward the massive luxury wardrobe visible in the background of the photo itself. Royal commentators and online sleuths started zooming in on the clothing racks and accessories, claiming several visible pieces looked strikingly similar to outfits once associated with Princess Diana. That instantly ignited another huge wave of speculation online. Some commentators began openly theorizing that Meghan could be preparing a fashion or lifestyle project inspired by Diana's iconic wardrobe and personal style. At this stage, there is no confirmed evidence of any such launch, but the rumor alone was enough to send royal watchers into a frenzy. And according to palace commentators, if anything remotely close to that ever happened, Prince William would reportedly be furious beyond words. People close to royal coverage have long said William is extremely protective of his mother's legacy and deeply sensitive about how Diana's image is used publicly. The idea of Princess Diana's memory being connected to commercial branding or a Montecito-based merchandise line immediately became one of the most emotionally charged theories circulating online. Critics argued it would cross a major line, while supporters dismissed the speculation as internet gossip spiraling completely out of control. But for many commentators, the bigger issue was the timing and the contradictions surrounding everything happening that same week. Meghan had just stood at an international podium in Geneva, warning about the emotional risks social media poses to children and families. She spoke about protecting childhood innocence and reducing harmful online exposure. Then, critics pointed out, almost immediately afterwards, she posted highly personal family content featuring her own child onto one of the world's biggest social platforms. That contradiction became a major talking point across tabloids, royal commentary shows, and online debates. Critics accused her of saying one thing publicly while doing the exact opposite in practice. Supporters argued there's a huge difference between responsibly sharing limited family photos and exposing children to harmful online behavior. But the overlap between the speech, the Instagram posts, and the launch of products connected to her lifestyle brand, all happening within the same week, created an optics disaster critics were never going to ignore.
As to where the younger royals stand on this issue, which is that I think especially the older generation, so we're talking, Peter and Zara, who are closer in age to Harry and William, in particular William, and the three of them are quite close, are looking at Harry and Meghan going, we just don't want any part of this dog and pony show that you two offer.
And that's where many royal commentators say the deeper issue inside the royal family allegedly comes into focus. According to people close to royal reporting, trust between Harry, Meghan, and the rest of the family has reportedly collapsed almost completely over the last several years. Critics inside royal circles allegedly believe that nearly every private interaction eventually risks becoming public in some form, whether through interviews, documentaries, memoirs, media leaks, Or streaming projects? From the Oprah interview to the Netflix series to Harry's memoir, Palace insiders reportedly feel that deeply personal conversations and family tensions repeatedly ended up exposed on the global stage. According to royal commentators, that fear has fundamentally changed how the family now interacts with Harry and Meghan behind closed doors. The concern, critics claim, is no longer just about disagreements, it's about confidentiality itself. That's why many royal watchers believe exclusions from events like Peter Philip's wedding carry such heavy meaning now. According to this interpretation, the distance isn't simply emotional anymore, it's strategic. The feeling among some within royal circles, commentators claim, is that private moments can no longer stay private once cameras, streaming deals, memoirs, and public narratives become part of the equation. In that environment, even ordinary family interactions reportedly start feeling risky, and that idea that every conversation could eventually become content, every disagreement could become leverage, and every private moment could later reappear in headlines is what many commentators believe has created the deepest fracture of all between Harry, Meghan, and the royal family today. Picture the scene for a second. A quiet countryside wedding, tucked away in the Cotswolds, small church, close family, long-time friends, no giant media circus surrounding every move. Peter Phillips has always kept a much lower profile than most senior royals, and by all reports, this wedding was designed to feel intimate, private, and peaceful, rather than flashy or theatrical. Now imagine the tension that would reportedly come with inviting the two people. Many royal commentators believe the family no longer fully trust behind closed doors. Critics of Harry and Meghan have spent years accusing the couple of turning deeply personal royal moments into public storytelling material. From interviews to documentaries to memoirs, every major family event now reportedly comes with anxiety inside royal circles about what details could later end up appearing in headlines, streaming specials, or future projects. And according to royal commentators, that fear has only grown stronger over time. People close to royal coverage have openly speculated that some members of the family allegedly worry Harry and Meghan would arrive at private events carrying more than just wedding gifts and polite smiles. The concern, commentators claim, is that every interaction could potentially become future, material, private conversations remembered for memoirs, emotional moments reshaped for documentaries, behind-the-scenes tensions saved for another global interview down the line. Whether fair or unfair, that perception now appears deeply embedded in how parts of the institution reportedly view the couple. And for critics inside royal circles, this isn't seen as some hypothetical fear anymore. They point directly to what happened at the Duke of Westminster's wedding last year. Harry reportedly was not invited to attend, while Prince William played a central role as best man. That event already sparked major discussion, because many observers viewed it as a clear sign that Harry's relationship with key members of Britain's aristocratic and royal network had dramatically changed. According to commentators, the June 6th wedding now simply reinforces that same pattern all over again. Royal insiders and media figures have spent months arguing that smaller private royal gatherings are now viewed as especially sensitive because they involve relaxed environments where conversations naturally become more personal and unguarded. And according to this line of thinking, families who once welcomed Harry and Meghan without hesitation.
This is going to be a happy occasion, and if Harry and Meghan are there, it's not a happy occasion anymore. It's stressful, it's tense. You have to manage so much because you can't say and do certain things around Harry and Meghan because you don't know if it'll show up in Netflix or the next Oprah Winfrey interview or the next book.
May now allegedly fear becoming supporting characters inside another future media project. Critics have even gone as far as suggesting the bride and groom likely wanted their own day protected from becoming overshadowed by global headlines surrounding Harry and Meghan. Royal gossip online immediately spiraled into theories about potential distractions, surprise announcements, emotional public moments, or media attention shifting away from the actual couple getting married. There's no evidence any such plans ever existed, but the speculation itself shows just how deeply the atmosphere around the Sussexes has changed in public royal discourse. Then there's the figure many reports claim played a major role behind the scenes, Princess Anne. If those reports are accurate, Anne's involvement would carry enormous weight, because within royal circles, she remains one of the most respected and trusted members of the entire institution. Anne has spent decades building a reputation for discipline, privacy, loyalty, and staying focused on duty rather than celebrity. Even many critics of the monarchy often admit she's viewed as one of the hardest working royals in the family. Her approach to parenting has also been praised for years. Anne made the deliberate decision not to give Peter Phillips and Zara Tindall royal titles while they were growing up. She reportedly wanted them raised as grounded private citizens, rather than full-time royal figures trapped inside palace systems and expectations. Looking back now, many royal commentators believe that decision turned out incredibly smart. Peter built a quiet life away from royal drama, and Zara became one of the most publicly popular members connected to the family, without carrying the intense pressure attached to senior royal status. Both are often described as approachable, normal, and far more connected to ordinary British life than many people inside the institution. According to royal watchers, Anne's parenting strategy may have protected them from a lot of the chaos and resentment that later consumed other branches of the family. And now reports suggest even guest list discussions themselves became complicated. According to one circulating report, both the York sisters and the Sussexes were initially brought up during conversations surrounding invitations. That detail alone reportedly created major intrigue, because it suggested there may have been serious debate behind the scenes about who still belongs within the family circle and who no longer does. In the end, according to the reports circulating among royal commentators, Beatrice and Eugenie remained connected enough to stay included despite all the controversy surrounding Prince Andrew in recent years. Harry and Meghan, however, allegedly did not make the final cut. And for many royal observers, that distinction sent an unmistakable message about where relationships inside the royal family now reportedly stand after years of public fallout, interviews, accusations, documentaries, and trust breaking down piece by piece. The Sussexes were reportedly cut from the guest list almost immediately. The York sisters, however, were said to have been treated differently because many inside royal circles still view them as caught in the fallout of their parents' scandals rather than responsible for creating the chaos themselves. According to royal commentators, Princess Anne's alleged reaction to the idea of Harry and Meghan attending was brutally short and direct, not bloody likely. And apparently, that ended the conversation right there. No debate, no second chances, no behind-the-scenes negotiations. Once Anne reportedly made up her mind, that was it. As the unofficial matriarch of the working royals, Anne's opinion carries serious weight inside the family. She's known for being practical, disciplined, and not easily swayed by emotion or media pressure. According to commentators, Peter trusted her judgment completely, and the door quietly closed on Harry and Meghan attending the wedding. But while the royal family was allegedly distancing itself socially, another problem was reportedly growing fast behind the scenes: the financial and branding empire Meghan has been trying to build. Her lifestyle brand, as ever, has now reportedly gone through multiple identity shifts in less than 2 years, leaving even supporters confused about what the company is actually supposed to be. First came the polished Riviera orchard image, then the relaxed barefoot farmer's market vibe, then the ultra-chic luxury branding, and now critics say the entire project feels like a mix of disconnected aesthetics with no clear direction holding it together. Things got even messier after Meghan released a new promotional video that immediately exploded online for all the wrong reasons. The clip showed Meghan walking through dreamy scenes, smelling flowers, sitting casually on a kitchen counter, and dramatically staring at jars of jam like she was filming a luxury perfume commercial instead of promoting homemade preserves. But what really caught attention online was the price of the jewellery she was wearing, while trying to market the brand as warm and relatable. According to reports, Meghan appeared in roughly $63,000 worth of diamond jewellery, along with an $8,000 Cartier bracelet, while presenting simple pantry products to the public. Critics wasted no time tearing the whole thing apart. Social media filled with jokes about a duchess dripping in diamonds trying to sell homemade jam from what many pointed out was reportedly not even her own kitchen, but a borrowed set connected to her Netflix production. The internet quickly turned the promo into meme material, with people mocking the contrast between ultra-luxury styling and the homemade lifestyle image the brand seemed to be pushing. Then came another setback. Reports surfaced claiming the trademark application for clothing under the As Ever name had allegedly run into legal problems because a New York-based fashion company already owns rights connected to the name. That immediately sparked speculation that any rumoured fashion expansion, including online theories about Diana-inspired pieces, could face serious legal obstacles before even launching. And then Bloomberg reportedly published comments from Meghan describing her ideal customer as a 15-year-old girl saving up her allowance money to buy one of her products. That quote triggered another wave of backlash almost instantly. Critics questioned how teenagers could realistically afford premium lifestyle products like $14 jars of jam, luxury candles, or pantry bundles, reportedly priced close to $300. To many observers, the branding suddenly looked completely disconnected from economic reality. Royal commentators and business critics alike began arguing that Meghan had accidentally boxed herself into an impossible position. According to critics, wealthier luxury consumers often see the brand as overly performative or controversial, while everyday supporters who genuinely like Meghan may simply not have the budget for high-end lifestyle pricing. The result, according to commentators, is a brand struggling to identify exactly who it's speaking to. And, perhaps most noticeably, many of the celebrity and elite social circles that once seemed eager to publicly associate with Harry and Meghan appear much quieter now. The high-profile friendships, glamorous public support, and non-stop Hollywood momentum that surrounded the couple after leaving royal life reportedly don't feel nearly as strong as they once did. According to royal watchers, that fading social support may now be hitting just as hard as the royal rejection itself. Here's the part Harry reportedly still hasn't fully realised yet. The Hollywood doors may be closing too. The excitement around the Sussexes in celebrity circles doesn't seem as strong anymore. The Obamas reportedly went quiet. The Clooneys now appear distant. Even Oprah Winfrey, who once welcomed them into her Montecito world so publicly, has seemingly stepped back from the spotlight around them. Recent reports and industry chatter suggest many A-list figures quietly decided the Sussex brand now comes with too much controversy. In Hollywood, image is everything, and critics claim even being photographed beside Harry and Meghan can now create unwanted headlines. Beverly Hills loves drama, but only up to a point. So who's really left in their circle now? According to commentators, mostly a few long-time loyalists, Meghan's old makeup artist from her Suits days, some stylists, and a PR contact or two. Meanwhile, the Fab Four dream once sold to the public has completely collapsed. Now, it's reportedly just Harry and Meghan watching Peter and Harriet's wedding from afar while the senior royals smile together in the Cotswolds. On June 6th, Catherine will likely look radiant as cameras flash around her. William will stand there looking every bit the future king. Charles may appear like a man finally seeing parts of his family come back together after years of non-stop drama and public fallout. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away in California, Harry could reportedly be watching the entire thing unfold from a phone screen, refreshing headlines, scrolling through photos of a brother he may never truly reconnect with again, while Meghan focuses on the next carefully timed Instagram post. According to royal commentators, this is what a real collapse looks like. Not one giant public explosion, but a slow fading away from the family circle piece by piece. No dramatic announcement. No screaming headlines from the palace. Just silence. The door closes quietly, the lock turns, and eventually the invitation simply never arrives again. And with reports already swirling about Meghan's rumoured plans for June 6th, along with what Prince William is allegedly prepared to do once he becomes king, the next chapter could be even bigger. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below if you enjoyed the video.